sure we're on point. Yeah, looks great. You're good to go.
So, why don't you start us?
Yep. All right. We are recording the interview of Edward Garrett. This interview is being conducted by Adrian Hill and Seth Gordon from the Wright State University Veteran Voices Project. This interview is being recorded at Montgomery County Veteran Services Commission in Dayton, Ohio. It is 11:15 a.m. on January 18th, 2015.
Edward, where and when were you born?
From here in Dayton, Ohio, 3/23/47.
Wow. And who were your parents and what did they do? What were their occupations?
My parents were James and Jeanette Garrett. They worked with Frigidaire Division, General Motors.
Okay, General Motors.
Here in Marine City.
Okay. And did you have any siblings that served in the military in addition to yourself?
No, my son was with me during the time that I attended, going through service. I was saying.
But did you have any brothers or sisters that were in the military?
I had a brother that was in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
Went UA because he had a few problems. He couldn't adjust to the way of the Marine Corps itself. He wasn't too sure when he joined the Marine Corps that it was best for him. He figured it was best for him, but he just didn't know how it would be, and it wasn't like it really was supposed to have been that he thought.
So it didn't measure up to his expectation?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
It was a little bit harder than what he thought it would be.
What was his name?
James R. Garrett.
Okay.
And what were you doing before you entered the service?
What was I doing? I graduated from Dunbar High School. Straight into the draft from the high school.
So you
After
graduated
graduation.
and you were drafted right away?
Right in.
Okay.
We didn't have any time to make any arrangements for anything at that time because I think the war was moving a little bit faster than what they thought it was going to do.
How long before you were drafted did you know you were going to be drafted?
Well, I knew before I graduated from school that I'd be going in right after I got out of school. So the few months that we did have, which was June, well, we graduated in May. Okay, we had June and July and August for part of it, to try to get ready or decide on whether we was going to say. A lot of guys were going to Canada, running from it at the time, and I felt that I owed my responsibility as being myself, that I do owe some parts of the country to serve.
And this is, I'm guessing, was this in 1965?
No, 1966.
1966.
I knew about it in 65, though.
So in 1965 you knew
Right,
you were, right.
Another one of my neighbors went in 64, I think it was. He went in the Marine Corps. He was also a Marine Corps, what do you call it? A child that was born from a member of his family that was in the service. He went to school in Xenia.
Okay. So you were drafted into the Army, is that right?
Right. I was drafted into the Army.
And so when did you? And so, what was it like when you got started? What was boot camp like?
Well, it was just a normal routine, like boot camp down in Fort Knox, Kentucky. We had a military basic training. We did the Ranger training during that time. I was going to Ranger training. They was training because a lot of the fellas were leaving Fort Knox, going straight over to Vietnam. Well, not straight over to Vietnam, but down to what is that, down basically before you go to Vietnam, you go to this camp down in, what is that? Look for another training to after you get out of boot camp.
Do you remember anything specific about your instructors in boot camp, or what it was like, or any experiences?
Well, my instructor in boot camp stated that what I did, because I was in martial arts for over about 20 years. And at the time, he had another corporal with him that was in martial arts, and he told me when I went over that anywhere I ever went over, I was going with him. His name was Sergeant Sweat. I would never forget his name. Because we always had a little battle between us. And
What was his name?
Sergeant Sweat.
Sergeant Swick. So you didn't forget his name.
No, I never forgot his name.
Was it difficult to adapt to being in the military? The barracks, the food, the routine?
No, the food was good. And, you know, the hours he worked was a little bit different, because normally from 6 in the morning till 5 in the evening, we never had to work after 5 o'clock. After 3 o'clock here, in civilian life, we had to work until after 3. But there, it was a little bit different, because you never could quit work until 1,800 hours. I mean, up to 1,800 hours.
So you worked from 6 to 6?
Right.
Okay. And what was it like? So you went basically right from high school into the military.
Right into...
Was the social life, what was that like for you, being in the military?
Well, it was a little bit different. And the job rate around wasn't too good either. All the things, when we went in, it was fine, but when you come back, it wasn't. There wasn't
Sure.
any jobs here hardly. For the veterans that were coming back, or made it back, I put it that way, because Dayton lost a lot of veterans from Ohio here.
Right.
And the ones that did make it back, only a third of my class that went over only made it back.
This is from your Army time?
Right.
Time in the Army.
Everything.
And what was your MOS?
I was transportation. I had several different MOSs: transportation, mechanic, semi-driver, which wherever they needed me to take something, or wherever they needed me to put me, they put me.
Okay.
Because I had qualified for all of it, and I could do it, so no problem.
Did they have to train you?
No, they didn't have to train me, not even a tanker driver. I was a tanker driver as well. I drove the truck, jet fuel, as well as diesel.
Are you done with this?
I think so.
Okay.
So how soon after you finished basic did you go to Vietnam, or your training?
Well, it wasn't straight from boot camp. It wasn't straight from boot camp. It was from AIT. What do you call it? After.
AIT? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Your tech school or whatever?
Right. I had to go to Virginia for that quartermaster school. And it was right after that I went. While I was there, I was with the 4th Log, a company of the quartermaster. But by transferring, driving diesel, I wanted to transfer to Fort Bragg to drive jet fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And they okayed what's your name for me to transfer to the company if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess some kind of way in between, I got attached to the 82nd Airborne Division, which was out of Fort Bragg.
Did you have to get qualified airborne for that? Did you have to get qualified airborne for
I
that?
had to get qualified for airborne school.
What was that like?
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Was that hard for you at all? Did you?
No.
I know airborne school is hard, but
It wasn't hard for me. I mean, I enjoyed jumping on lines. I mean, I enjoyed coming down on the chute. It took a little bit like it was to nature, yeah, to me. I mean, that's the way I felt about it.
Were you athletic in high school?
Football.
Did you play football? What position?
Not a quarterback, but left tackle, also right tackle.
Okay. So you went and you did airborne training. You qualified. You were trained to be a quartermaster.
Right, I was trained at quartermaster school in Virginia.
And then
I think it was something like 6 months after that, then we was transferred to Fort Bragg with the 82nd Airborne Division. And from there I went over
to Vietnam.
Vietnam.
And where did you go in Vietnam?
The first place I got there was at the airport, Tan Son Nhut. We was always told that the life expectancy was only 5 minutes once you hit land, which was true. You was only actually, and truthfully, to live only 5 minutes once you touch land. That's how bad it was over there. It wasn't nothing easy. We had a system with most of the guys that went over. If you watch my back, I'll watch yours. And most of the guys that did that did come back. Some of the guys that didn't or didn't follow through with it didn't. And the only system that we had was to follow through with it. It was a must. It wasn't something to play with or joke with. I didn't think it was a joke. More around over your head, something about for 3 feet or sometimes 2 feet above your head, and you're on the ground with your ground flat on the ground. It didn't seem to me to be a game.
Right.
Mr. Garrett, what year did you get to Vietnam?
I got to Vietnam in '66.
And you were there until?
'68.
68.
Well, 68, 66, I spent 18 months there, and then on the way back, I spent 6 months coming back to the station, because I had to come back by boat.
Okay, we'll touch on that.
Yeah, I went over by boat.
Yeah. Okay, so what kind of memories do you have, any particular memories you have from being in Vietnam?
Some of them, at first, I didn't want to talk about it. It took me sometimes 5, 6 years before I was able to even talk about it. I had quite a few therapy sessions out here at the VA. A lot of things you saw that couldn't actually believe was happening. I mean, your partner's sitting here, he gets around his head and trying to see it halfway out in the back. I mean, it's just nothing, it's too great about it, okay? I mean, a lot of people say, well, how could you keep your sanity? You couldn't. The only way to keep your sanity was to drink or smoke or use drugs. That was it. Sounds a little bit different, but and you just get lost in the punchline just to forget about it. You know, it's just, it happened, you saw what happened, let it go.
Did you, what kind of Because did you do transportation type work when you were there? When you were actually in Vietnam, what was your job over there?
Well, mostly transportation, fuel, delivering fuel, as well as to the different companies that up and down Route 1, all the way to the mountains, and back. I come back and reload and take more fuel, more supplies out to the different companies.
Was that
So actually, I had more of a runaround of being on the loose freely to about 5 or 6 companies. I mean, different directions, different areas, and a lot of things that I didn't take consideration of myself was being protected from until I got shot at one time going down the road. And it's no fun. Trying to duck and diving over your head, trying to see the road and you can't see it. Some parts of the road you can't see. You try to watch in the middle to see if there's any, what they call,
Mines?
mines in the road. See, from the side of the road, you can just about mark from where the center part of where they put them in. And the lights, if you didn't have your what they call, if you didn't have your markers on where you're not using your regular lights, you're using your blackout lights, you couldn't see anything. All you can see is the road, but you can't see any markings where you can doggone where there is any mines, anything. You're taking a chance going up and down Route 1 every day.
Can you describe maybe what that was like to, you said getting shot at and things like that, and dealing with, worrying about mines. Can you describe what kind of emotions you're going through?
Well, a lot of emotions I was going through, and the only thing I was concerned about was making it back, one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
At least alive. And that's about it. I mean, I had no other thoughts but only making it back on my 2 feet and walking.
So was that one time that you were shot at, or was it multiple times?
Multiple times. I mean, it's not just certain times. It's all the time that I was there. He was being shot at.
So I'm guessing there were you were not the only person driving up and down Route 1. Did you share stories with other drivers?
I shared stories with a lot of guys from the Big Red One, First Calf, a couple other companies, doggone that I was there. Shared with quite a few companies. Most of the drivers that were riding on Route 1 always let other drivers know what was what and where everything was. That way we could, and they'd mark them. So we would know where the markers are, which way to go, and how far to go on that road. And
so if something happened to you, you would mark for other drivers.
right.
And that means you would get out of the truck and put a marker somewhere, or you would...
Well, it wasn't just like getting out of the truck. We pulled to where it was, mark it on the side.
Okay.
While being in the truck or in the vehicle itself.
Right.
Okay. Now, you said you got shot at and things like that. Was there anything that you saw, maybe, casualties or just, seeing stuff get blown up, things like that? Or did that kind of destruction, how did that affect you? Did it affect you in any way besides what you said?
Quite a few fellows just completely get blown away. You may have an arm here, a leg there. If you find his head, you're good. Or what's left of it. So I was on body details. I was there as well, too. And the way they Well, storage of bodies was in the mess hall and the freezer. They kept cold. That was the only place to keep them. You go in body detail, you find an arm, a leg here, there. You don't know whose it is, but you take it through it in the bag and put it all together. They're section it out when you get there. You couldn't tell who was who. And wasn't too enthusiastic, okay, of watching and seeing this. It took me something like a year and a half before I was able to even talk about it to my psychiatrist here.
How long did you have that detail, the body detail?
Well, that depends on what section you're in, what company is going out, or whatever. Each company had a served on the burial detail to go out to the body, or what's left of the body, an arm, a leg, or whatever. And they don't know who it is. They went to go see a lot of the parts came back in parts. The caskets was never open.
So you're driving up and down. You said you were driving tankers. What else were you transporting? Do you know?
Semis. Well, it was what's the name? Different supplies, as well as going to the supply companies and some of the companies out in the field. I'd have to, for week one, I would have to go to these different companies and deliver whatever they ordered there. Put their orders in. Which they had dropped them off.
People back and forth too, or?
No, people back and forth, going and coming as well.
What kind of, can you talk about all, I know we've kind of talked about some of the bad stuff over there that happened, but what about the friendships and camaraderie? Did you feel any of that while you were over there?
Well, we felt some friendships and some from the people that were caught in the middle of the fire that didn't really have anything to do with it. They were telling us mostly that they had no fight with us. Why were we here? I couldn't answer it, and that's what I told them. I just said, here by my country sent me here to fight for you. I mean, hey, I have nothing against you. I don't even know why I'm shooting at you, which I didn't. And a lot of fellows didn't know it either. What was the purpose of the war in Vietnam? A lot of people in the States didn't even know what was the purpose of it. Just like the Iraq War. They don't know the purpose of that war for nothing in the world, but all it is about oil.
What was it like, the friends you made within the military? Did you make any lasting friendships with people you served?
I had quite a few guys from Detroit, some from doggone Chicago, who ran into while we was there. They'd go out and party and have a little time, but they went out and party and had a little time and mingle with some of the girls, which name was fiction. And I didn't take that too good. I wasn't getting anything that I didn't have when I got there. So the best thing for me to do is take my R&R and back up. And that's where I took my R&R and back up, which is no battles or anything. You go for relaxation and take a lot of stress off of you. The R&Rs are good to have, but the guys can't go and just relax instead of fighting all the time. I had some good times.
Okay. What about staying in touch with family and friends? Did you have any way to do that when you were in Vietnam?
Well, the only one I kept in touch with was my father. He was the only one that knew I went to Vietnam. I didn't want my grandmother nor my mother for my sister and them to know that I went to Vietnam.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't want them to know.
So your dad was the only one that knew
Right,
when you were in
he
Vietnam.
was.
How did?
He was in an artillery company out of Fort Knox. Okay. And I felt that he would understand more than my mother, my grandmother, and then what.
How did you keep something like that a secret?
I don't know how he did it, but he kept it on his end, quiet, and they didn't ask anything else about it. And
Did they ever find out that you went?
yeah, after I got out,
Okay.
they found out that I did.
What was their reaction?
Well, they said they were glad they didn't know because they'd been worried from day one up until I came back.
Yeah.
How much I didn't want that. Because I didn't know whether I was coming back myself or not. A lot of the guys who went over didn't know whether he was coming back or not. They was hoping to come back.
So did you write letters to your dad?
Yeah, I wrote letters to my dad.
Was that the only way you ever communicated with him?
Mm-hmm.
While overseas? Okay.
So there's a twist. You came back, or you, what happened after Vietnam? Did you come back and leave the Army?
Well, I got out and got out for about, 6 months, not 6 months, 3 months. And there was no jobs, couldn't find a job nowhere, so I went back in. The best thing I thought, the best thing for myself is, there's nothing out there. The people is not respecting you for going fighting for them from Vietnam. You don't get the respect that you do. And the best thing for me is just go and make a career out of it. That way I won't have to worry about no job. Or taking care of myself. Or eating, sleeping, a place to sleep. So from that forth on, I decided to make a career. And that's when I went back into the Marine Corps.
Why the Marines?
Well, the purpose of that was to prove something to my brother, and I tried to talk to him and have him to go back and clear his record up, and get it straightened out where doggone he can go back and finish the time that he had. To redeem his own life that he lost.
So your brother was he killed in the war or no?
Do what?
Your brother?
CKIA?
No, he's still living.
Okay.
He's a Marine just like I am.
Okay.
And we uphold the family. We come to find out that my family, what's his name, our uncle, two of our uncles were Marines, in which we didn't know. There was something about the Marines he was fascinated with, and which, to me, it didn't make any difference whether it was Marine or Army, or, what it was. It was just the point that they had a recognition of starting from being drafted. Okay, I had put in for ROTC Academy School to go into the Navy, in which go Navy, and go to school and come out with a commission. Okay, this is before I had got drafted, but I was drafted in before I could complete. I could finish it. And then later, during my drafting, who I was drafted into, I got a letter back from the academy accepting me. And down in Fort Knox, they gave me a choice of what I wanted to stay in continue the time that I already had, or just drop out and go to the cabinet school, which I would have to start all over again. So I chose just keep what I have and keep going.
Okay.
I had no sense in dropping out. What I'm gonna drop out for? At the time I was spending the Army and training, boot camp training, all these things I've learned, or they taught me how to survive. But why would I do something like that, go to academy school and then start from the beginning and going all the way out?
Okay. So you decided to do the Marines. Did you do another tour while you were in the Marines?
Right, I did 4 years during the time. Did four years during the time, from 70 to 74.
You were in the Marines from 70 to 70.
72 to 76.
And did you go to Vietnam again? When you were in the Marines?
No, I only went to Vietnam once.
When you were in the Army. So what did you do with your time in the Marines?
Vietnam War was over with after 72. 72 of December, I think it was December 72. I think the Vietnam War was over at that time.
Okay. What did you do with your time in the Marines then?
Well, mostly a lot of training in different schools. I picked up on the rifle range for a sniper, which I wanted to go to that, and which I did, go to part of it. And, but they had no use for it, or being a sniper here in the States. There was no war during the time of the Vietnam War, after the Vietnam War, up until, what was that, 2001, 2002, somewhere along there. Most of the time it was just going on, what is called reserve time, trips, field trips, going back and forth, spending 6 months at a time.
So you had mentioned that you had helped build a replica of a village. Did you do that in the Army?
Yes, we did.
In the Army or the Navy or the Marines?
This was in the, let's see, this was in the Army, okay. Fort Lee, Virginia, at the Quartermaster School Academy, Quartermaster School Academy. We would go out in the fields and train guys. At the time when I came back, training the guys that were going over, training them for what to look for, life expectancy, how long they're going to allow to live once they hit land. Life expectancy was only 5 minutes once you hit land.
So when you helped build this village to train people after you got back from Vietnam?
Right, after we got back from Vietnam.
Okay.
A couple of guys, and I had another from Chicago, one from Baltimore, and I think another guy from D.C. We decided, because we was out there working with the guys who were going to Vietnam. By coming from Vietnam, we had to explain some of the things, what to look for. Rather than what to look for, you can look, why not build one? You can show them better than you can tell them.
Right.
They built Punji 6 underground cabins, a complete Vietnamese village. They had Vietnamese underground cabins, plus the Punji 6 in these cabins, which on top of the land as well as under. The tree limbs used as Punji sticks, which during that time is more historical, the way they made booby traps which swing back and forth and hit you. It's about 45 miles an hour. Once you hit you, there's nothing they can do for you. They'll leave you there. We lost quite a few guys which was with the 82nd when they come back from the when they're coming back from Nam, they're going to get caught in these. We couldn't do anything, couldn't help them. Couldn't pull them out, we had to just leave them there.
Okay. I want to talk about coming home from Vietnam. You said you took a boat and it took 6 months?
No, we took a boat, it took 30-something days, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
It takes 6 months.
I thought you said 6 months earlier.
No, this is
ridiculous.
when I was in the Marine Corps. I went on a tour during the time. This is where I ran into this problem, and he was telling me not to go too far into the story.
But not on tape, but if you want to go into it on tape, you can. That's up to you.
Okay. But that was different from that. But I was wasn't there 6 months. Went out in the field for 6 months in Puerto Rico. I was gone from home for 6 months, 24 hours a day was in the field. Tarantulas, we had to fight off tarantulas in order to sleep at night or during the day. Make sure you don't have a tarantula in your bag. They're not too comfortable.
So you said something happened in the Marine Corps because you left the Army as a sergeant, right?
Yeah, especially sergeant spec fire.
And then something happened in the Marine Corps when did you lose rank?
Well, I lost rank when I went into the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay, just
They let me get a corporal,
okay.
lance corporal. Okay, not corporal, but lance corporal. And I had a hard time, doggone, picking up rank. It's kind of hard to pick up rank in the Corps. They just don't give it to you. You got to earn what you get.
So
I was due for, at the time, I was due for rank extension at the time I was getting out. And when I re-enlisted for 4 years. I did 4 years.
Why'd you choose not to re-enlist?
Hmm?
You said because at first you said you were thinking about making a career out of it. Why did you choose
Now,
not to re-enlist?
this was when I was in the Army.
Okay.
Okay, this had nothing to do with the Marine Corps at the time.
Mm.
I was in the Army at the time, and I was thinking about making a career.
Oh, okay. So once you did 4 years in the Marines, you decided you didn't want to do a career after that.
No, after I finished my whole 8 years of the Army, complete the whole 8 years of service, then I went in the Marine Corps.
Okay. And you did 4 years.
Yeah.
And then, is there a reason you chose to get out rather than stay in though?
Well, at the end of the situation which they gave me, I didn't have a choice. I had to come back here to try to get rid of them. Or if I couldn't get rid of them, then I had to stay. So in reduction, they gave me honorable discharge, which was for the 4 years in which I spent.
Okay.
And see, I was supposed to re-enlist, which I had already re-enlisted. But they canceled my re-enlistment under the circumstances of what was going on between my wife and this guy. They put me on third shift, on night shift, working, in order to keep an eye on me.
who, the Marines or?
Yeah. They put the third shift, put me on third shift and working at night. with doggone, what's the name? Because see, gave them the choice, an alternative. It ended, or if they wouldn't end it, I would end it. And I didn't think they wanted to go to the embarrassment of me ending something that they should have stopped from the beginning.
Okay. Well, let's kind of back up to when you got home from Vietnam. How were you received by like your family or your community?
Well, I was received by the community very much. A lot of the guys and people that I went to school with, they thanked me for going serving during the time in Vietnam. We didn't have a welcome home. Most of the guys that come back from Nam didn't have a welcome home on both sides, east or west. We didn't have a welcome home. It's like you were there, so what the heck?
What did
There
you
wasn't
face?
any respect for the guys that went to Nam and far. Most of the guys that ran to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Different other places to get away from it. But we were man enough to take our own responsibility and do what we had to do. We didn't get that respect.
Did you face any hostility by the anti-war movement?
No, not really. I mean, I look at it this way, to each his own. I mean, you have to face it one way or the other. And the worst part of it, that you can't point me out to say that I hadn't or didn't, or I ran away because I didn't want to serve my country.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it like that. And ever since I've taken it like that, it's been that way. With all the great respect in the world, most of the military personnel.
Okay. So once you got out of the Marine Corps, how did you readjust? What did you do after the Marines?
Well, I have spent most of my time with the VA and mingling with a lot of the guys that was over in Nam and different other places. We've seen each other quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So it was normal for us to continue meeting at the VA. And we did that just about every day. Still doing at times. Even though the years have passed, and the ones that are left from the years that have passed, they're going to still do the same thing. We still carry on.
What did you do for work after you got out of the Marine Corps? What did you do professionally?
Professionally?
Yeah, what did you do for work?
Okay, I was a semi-tractor trailer driver. I had 10 different fields I could go into.
Sure.
I had went on back to technical school in order to get these fields. Different ones, and it was fine.
Okay. Do you think that the military kind of trained you for that? Did you have to get any other kind of certifications to get those jobs, or did the military help you?
Some of those jobs, the military did train me for. Okay, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough recognition or training to complete, what they was asking for that type of job.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to go through either technical school or whatever.
Okay. Besides, I know you stayed in contact with your fellow veterans via the VA. Mm-hmm. But did you join any veterans organizations like VFW, AMVEST, American
Mm-hmm.
Legion?
Yes, I did.
You did. Did you find any kind of camaraderie or friends there?
Yeah, I find quite a few here. The veteran VA posts here that we stick together and to talk together. Mm. They invite us out to their posts and we have good time just like we did in service.
Okay. So how did we're going to kind of go into some reflections. How did the wartime experiences affect your life?
Well, for the
Time
first
being on.
year, it really affected my life. I kind of kept off to myself.
The first year after you got out,
The first year after that, I kind of kept off.
and it affected you in a negative way then.
Right.
The first year.
I didn't have a choice. I
Mhm.
mean, there's a lot of things I couldn't talk about. A lot of my friends asked different questions I couldn't answer.
Mhm.
I couldn't tell them because I didn't want to remember.
Mhm.
I just wanted that part of my life I wanted to just end for a while
Mhm.
until I'm able to talk about it. I think a lot of fellas from the wars today want the same thing. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to remind themselves of it. It's something and a stress to them that they had to go through. It took a lot of a man to face. And it takes a while for them to adjust to where they can talk about it. It took me 3 years to talk about it. Even watch a movie on TV with Vietnamese, what's his name, and all the fighting in Vietnam. I couldn't watch it even on TV. I'd get up and turn it off, go out and sit on the porch. My mind still thought about it, but I thought about it in a quiet way, not a hostile way.
After you got help and stuff, how has it affected you since then? That time in
Well,
Vietnam.
I look at it over the years. I talk more about it, and it doesn't affect me anymore. It's a tragic thing that happened, but that's something that none of us could foresee in the future.
Yeah.
I've been in service and never will.
Okay. So, did you learn any lessons, life lessons from the military? Not just your service in Vietnam, but the military in general. Is there any kind of, I don't know, life mentalities or anything that the military gave you?
Good some. A few. I'd say a few. There's some. Right now I can't, spit them out right now.
Right. But it's
Yeah.
definitely affected maybe your work ethic and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
In a positive way, you think?
In a positive way.
Okay. How has your military service and your time in Vietnam impacted your feelings about war and in the military in general?
I just had a recent twitching last 10 years to be told that the war is over. I mean, you're not in service anymore. Wake up.
Yeah.
You're not in service anymore. You're not fighting. No, it's not. But it was the thrill and the enjoyment of being part of that era. And remembering everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I couldn't talk about it without any stress or strain.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys, they're strained to talk about it. You got guys coming from Iraq. That's going to be in worse condition than they're in worse condition than what we are. Or they ever have been in Vietnam. Loss of limbs that they use every day. But they had to replace them with artificial. That's a stress, that's a mind stressing. Same way it was in Vietnam. The guys come back with loss of limbs. But we were more efficient in taking everything we possibly could for them to be able to help better ourselves than what we have. The guys today, they're so strung out that the loss of this, their mentality, they don't know whether they're going to come back or not. I mean, from the shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot different. In each generation, it's a lot different. With this generation coming in now from the war, I don't know. It makes me wonder. But if I can do everything I possibly can to talk to some of them or explain to some of them, it'll take time. You will heal and regroup again. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, or 2 or 3 years from now.
Okay.
And that's a lot when another vet takes that.
Agreed.
That's been there and know what's been happening.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything you wanted to leave maybe for future generations, other veterans, you know, kids that would see this in the future? Because it goes to the Library of Congress where people can look at it. Any message you want to leave for them?
Well, I never had this opportunity and really thought about it. I mean, it's kind of difficult because I can't say what I want to say to tell them how I felt.
It's hard to put into words.
It's different from them, you know. Different from the kids coming up past me because some of the kids have already found it out. They've been there. They're coming home from Afghanistan, Iraq. Hey, they've already been through it. All they can do is build his confidence.
Okay.
And let him know it's gonna get better. It may seem hard right now, but it gets better.
Okay.
How the people treat them when they do come home, that's on the people today.
Yeah. I think it's gotten better compared to what Vietnam vets, how they were treated.
I think it has too.
Okay.
I hope it even get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can hope for.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing this interview with us, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.